guys, and welcome back to Topics on a Tuesday. So this is our new weekly or monthly, we'll see how it goes, new segment where me and Katie just talk about different things that may be going on in the world, that may be affecting our personal lives, and just things that you guys can relate to. And I'd say more than often women. I feel like this segment is more for like the girls. So this week we have a few topics to talk about that are driving us a little bit mad right now. The first one being summer holidays.
Honestly.
I'm losing my mind.
No, same. I can't wait for the gym.
I feel like this summer holiday, I haven't stopped. Like, I have not sat down for a second.
Same. But do you know what? I was saying to someone the other day, this is the first summer holiday where I've not been depressed.
Yes, same.
Because normally I dig myself into a hole.
Yeah.
Every single time there's a term holiday, and obviously not just summer holidays. For anyone that's watching, we have children, so if that gives you a bit of understanding of the summer holiday. So I feel like in the summer holidays, I get like a bit depleted because my mental release is the gym. Mm-hmm. So when I can't go to the gym and I don't have routine, I don't know if it's the ADHD brain or just me as a person, I need routine. Like, I like waking up early and having a reason to. Like, I don't need to at the minute because I'm not going to the gym and I'm not doing the school run. And when I'm trading or anything to do with work, trading is like afternoon and I can work at any time because we have the business. So
I agree. I'm just losing my mind. Like you said, I haven't been depressed this summer.
Same.
I think this is definitely the first summer that I haven't been depressed.
I've spent so much money though.
I've spent so much money and I just feel like I haven't stopped.
Same.
And it's not even like just doing things with the kids. I feel like we've done 12 podcasts.
Yeah.
In the last month.
We've recorded three
times this month, yeah. We've done 12 podcasts. I've been doing stuff with 𝐒𝐿. It was my birthday. Mm-hmm. The kids were away for a week. I had one day where I had absolutely nothing to do. And I'm just like, I want these kids to be back at school so I can just find some inner peace again. Like, I'm so over it.
And do you know what it is as well? It's like the early nights. Like, I actually love being like a early sleeper and an early waker. Yes. And at the minute, it's completely 360'd, and I'm like, this ain't a bit of me.
Does your daughter, I don't know if your child's the same as my naughty two, but they refuse to go to sleep when it's light outside.
Yep.
It's not night time yet. Yep. What do you mean? Go to bed.
It's like you need to understand that, you know, summer and winter, the sun is at different ratios in the world.
Bro,
you need to understand this.
It's just a lot. Like, I'm really struggling with bedtimes at the moment. Like, a couple of nights ago, it was like 11 p.m. and both kids were still awake. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, honestly, it's true. What do you do, like, to install, like, bedtime in the children?
I think it's a lot easier when they are at school. It's a lot easier when it's dark outside. Yeah. But it's just routine. One thing for me that I learned last year was as soon as the dark nights pick back up again, 6:30, it's bath and bed. Like, kids are in bed by 7 p.m. because I've realised if it's any later than that, that's when I start having a hard time. And I think maybe over summer, because I've been a little bit more lenient, I've probably done myself an injustice by doing that because they're now out of routine. I'm trying to be like, cool, mom, it's summer. Like, I'll let you have a little bit of fun because when it's back to school, I'm strict mom. So I feel like when it's normal times, school times, it's just that routine. Like, dinner at a certain time, bath at a certain time, you're in bed, don't get out of bed, mommy's working, don't bother me.
I'm actually really excited for the return of school as well because school days, Monday to Friday, well, Friday night, no, Monday to Thursday, my daughter has no iPad. Like, you're not allowed to, like, screen time, that's bad for you. Like, no iPad games, unless it's, like, going on the iPad to do your schoolwork. And really being intentional with, like, developing her skills and not being on the technology so much. Because I feel like we're in a world now where every child you look at, you go to restaurants and kids have got their iPads at the dinner table. And it's like, how are you not installing in your children that let's have conversations, let's do, like, what's been a bad thing in your day and the good thing in your day? And actually having conversations with your children, like, maybe pray before you eat or just, like, have some grace and gratitude throughout the day instead of just teaching them that technology is the way, because I feel like the way the world's going as well, it's a very technology-based world.
Absolutely.
So that's another thing I'm really looking forward to, because I have let her just go on her iPad, talk to her friends, play games, because whilst I'm working,
we need it.
I need the space as well.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I was pregnant with Zion, and I was like, my child's not having an iPad, and I'm not having iPad babies, bro. COVID hit, I threw that iPad at him. I said, we need some space.
That's so
because
funny.
COVID, it was a lot. I was heavily pregnant, and obviously then I had my daughter as well. So I think that kind of played a part in, like, they are iPad kids now, which is what I absolutely didn't want. But in saying that, like you say, we are in now, technology is everywhere. It's really hard to, like, shelter our kids from technology and those type of things. But I think now I'll just try to, like, YouTube is gone. We're not doing YouTube because I think it has a massive impact on their behavior. But like YouTube Kids and like any educational things, I'm like, please just leave me alone. Go on your iPad, go and learn about something so I can just work for a second, and then we'll come back together and we'll talk about it. But
yeah, I feel like as well, a lot of parents that do allow their kids to go on like iPads and stuff, they're not looking at their texts. It depends on their age, obviously. My daughter's 8.
Yeah.
I look at her texts, even like texts with her dad and stuff. I'm making sure that things you're sending and things you're saying, like you're being appropriate with the way you speak to people. You have manners, most definitely. Pictures you're taking, like that's another thing. And also just like things like Roblox and YouTube, like you said, there's some like light-hearted games and stuff on there, but actually like a lot of the YouTube kids in the YouTube world, they have like this bratty demeanor, and the kids pick up on it, and then they think that's okay to be like that at home.
Yeah.
And actually it's the environment that they're in, because they're very spoiled, and for them it's acting, but then it actually picks up. Our children pick it up.
Yeah, because they don't know any different. I feel like at the ages they are, obviously yours is 8, mine are 5 and 6, so they're still like within the same age range. And I think it's such a scary world for kids at that age, because that's when like they're developing and like figuring themselves out, I feel like.
Yeah. Changing this a little bit, for any like single parents, we're obviously both single mums.
Yeah.
My daughter's dad is in her life, but I pretty much do everything: finances, school runs, doctors. I do everything myself. How important do you think it is to be like entrepreneurial in a way? Because I feel like for me, a 9 to 5 job wouldn't work, because by the time I'm waking up, taking my daughter to breakfast club, getting to work, coming home at 5, 6 o'clock, my daughter's going to bed, I have no time with her. I feel like being a parent in a 9 to 5 job it realistically wouldn't align with what I'm trying to teach her and the morals and stuff. And I want to be present in her life. How important do you think it is for a single parent out there to just try and create something?
I don't think I had any choice.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm lucky that I got into everything that I'm doing now, like, very early, way before I even thought about the kids. But I think now I'm like the same. I'm like, I rate mums who can work a 9 to 5, because I physically couldn't.
Yeah, same.
Like, there's absolutely no way that I could. I think I'm very lucky that I'm in the position that I'm in, because I put in so much work before I had them, and then very early years, like I was on maternity for 2 years because I had them back to back. But I couldn't imagine having to go to an actual job, like, especially some holidays. Like, I'd be losing my mind. I think it's hard being an entrepreneurial single mom for its own reasons, because I think sometimes we have to, like today, I've had to drop my kids off to be here. But then I'm like, if I was working a 9 to 5, I'd barely see them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm so lucky that I get to do everything that I do, and they get to witness everything that I'm doing as well. But I think the only thing that, not a downfall, I feel like, but maybe just more of like me personally, is just that I can't truly step into like motherly feminine vibe. There's always going to be some level of alpha in me, because I'm fulfilling 2 roles. So I think for the kids, that's probably not that deep. But for me, it's like, this is something that I'm now starting to realise, because I want to be feminine and that kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of fighting against that at the moment.
Yeah. I feel like it's also very different when you are in a household where both parents are together, because when one's at work, the other one's dropping to school, and like it's a lot easier to rely on each other. Whereas because we're in our alpha, like we're the financial provider, we've got the roof over their heads.
Yeah, definitely.
We're doing everything, and we're trying to work on ourselves, build businesses, make money, also being traders. I feel like it can be very exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't have a son. You have a son. How do you install like masculinity into him being a woman?
I think again it's really difficult. I was literally having a conversation with the guy that I'm seeing at the moment yesterday, and he was saying like sometimes like my son just has this thing, he will always sleep with me. Like no matter if he falls asleep in his bed, I will wake up and he's next to me. Like he is a proper mommy's boy. And the guy was saying like you need to get him out of that, because as a man, like that's not a manly thing. Like the man needs that independence. And I'm like, yeah, but that's my baby. Like there's gonna be a day when he doesn't want to come in mommy's bed anymore. But then he's like, but what if he doesn't? Like, what if he's just like grows up to be like a proper like wimp type thing and like forever needs his mom? So I feel like I'm always battling against like, it's just the same thing. Like I'm battling against like, I have to be a little bit harsher because I'm raising a man. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm mummy. So like, I just want to be loving, and I don't know, it is really hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is really hard. And I think it's important for me to like, because obviously I'm not with their dad and he's not present, it's important for me to now, the partner that I have has to be a, like, not perfect man, but
good role
you
model.
have to be an amazing role model for my son more than anything. I don't know, it's difficult. It is difficult.
I feel like as well you learn from, like if I had a son and not a daughter and I was in the position I am now, I feel like my learning to teach him would be through relationships.
Yeah.
So like how I expect a man to be, and just like masculine and feminine roles. I feel like that's also what I'd be using as like installation.
Exactly. But I think he can only really learn that from seeing me being treated in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like seeing a man take care of me and take pressure off of me, and just seeing how a man acts, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because your children are a product of your environment.
Exactly. So I think that's why I say like it's really important for me to, when I have a man, it has to be someone that I would want my son to grow up and be like. Because that definitely wasn't the case with their dad, which is why I had to get away. So now it's like that's like the main.
I think as well it's like it's difficult because whilst trying to grow kids up, you want to let them be kids, but you also cannot expose them to certain things.
Yeah.
Exposing kids to like toxic stuff, like even like conversations. I don't have certain conversations around my daughter. She will never hear stuff like money don't grow on trees, because I know that saying certain things is what's going to make you think, oh, so money's limited.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can't go and do better. Like when, you know, like a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, what do you want to be when you're older? Like, do you want to be a doctor? Like, do you want to be a vet? Like, what about the entrepreneurial stuff? Also, like implement stuff within your child from a young age.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because both of my kids are always like, oh mum, like when are we gonna have a Lamborghini? Like when are we having the mansion? Like this, they're manifesting this for me. Like their visions in their head of what we're gonna have is like, I feel like I've obviously planted the seeds for them to now be like the flowers are growing. Now it's like, mum, where's all of these things that you said you're gonna get for us? So they definitely pick up on that.
How important do you feel like love is within a home? Like whether you have a partner, your mum and dad's together, or you're just providing that love.
I think it's one of the most important things in life.
It is.
Love is the highest frequency in the world. So I feel like a home without love, not a home, it's just a house. Like,
how do you feel like, because I feel like I struggle with being the loving parent, but also being the strict parent, putting the rules in place. And like, I'm like, oh, 10 more minutes, but then actually you're teaching your kids to walk all over you and not respect you. Yeah. And then it comes into play as well. Like if I had a son, like I don't want him to be a mummy's boy. I want him to be with a woman and have a family and be in a masculine, powerful role and treat women with respect And I feel like you can't do those things unless you're in a loving home with both parents being in their feminine and their masculine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of it is, like, I know people probably think I'm crazy with all these conspiracies, but I do partly think that, like, the way society is built right now, it's not built to have a family home.
No.
It's not, and I think it's very intentional of higher powers, whatever government, whatever you want to call it, to have that, because I think a home with two parents, whether that's the biological parent or whether that's a step parent, I think both are great. I don't think you should stay in a situation that's very toxic just to have the families together.
Yeah,
I don't
wild.
believe in that, because it's still not having the love. But I think having a two-parent household, whether it's biological or step, is one of the most important things ever. But it has to be pure love. Like, the two parents have to be on the same page.
Yeah, I agree. It's so rare as well to, like, hear that people's parents are still together.
Oh, yeah.
I have a couple of friends that's parents are still together, and I'm like, that's just so amazing.
I don't think I know any.
But you know what? I also think it's not such a bad thing if your parents aren't together. Like, some people think it's the worst thing in the world, and I'm like, I get 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays.
That is true.
Like, for my daughter, obviously, me and her father are not together. I think for her, like, obviously, I wish that she got to have what I didn't experience and actually, like, grow up in that environment, because I don't want history to repeat itself.
But I think that's toxic in itself.
It is. But then I also think you get 2 separate holidays, you get 2 everything, like, you get double the love.
Yeah, 100%. I think I stayed in my situation for so long because I was the same. I was like, I don't want my kids to grow up with two parents that aren't together.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew up. And not that it really ever affected me like that, but it was just really important for me to have children with someone that I want to be with forever.
Yeah.
And when that didn't happen, I think it was definitely like a shock to the system, because that's what I wanted. But then by the time it came to that, I was just like, please just get out of my life anyway. And I'd learned that, like, toxicity is just not okay. But at the same time, still, sometimes I'm like, it's sad. Like, I wish they had grown up with both parents being present.
Because I'm on, like, this spiritual journey with myself and, like, growing, there's, like, little practices that I implement into my daughter's life. Like, I get her to, like, say gratitude, especially on school days. It's kind of gone out the window a little bit in the summer holidays.
Exactly,
but, like, in the morning, like, what are you grateful for? After school, was anyone nice to you? Was anyone, like, not nice to you? What was you grateful for at school? Did you learn anything? Like, really trying to, like, dig her brain and, like, make her see, like, there's a bigger purpose to life. I think it's really important to install in your kids from young. And just, like, manners, like, pure, simple manners. Like, when you finish with your food, don't put it on the side and expect me to clean your plate. Put it in the bin.
Facts.
My daughter's even washing up now. She's 8. And I don't ask her to. She does it because she's like, my mum needs help. She don't do it all the time. She has her ways. Sometimes she's, like, the most golden child ever. And sometimes she's, like, depends who she's around. I've noticed it's the product of who she's around. If she's around certain children,
I hear it.
But
I hear it.
I feel like you bring up your children how you want them to be raised. Like, you know, there's children with disabilities and children that go through toxic situations, and there are children that are, like, born into like, mental problems in terms of, like, ADHD, dyslexia, anything like that. But I do think I'm not going to say statistics because it got me in trouble the other day, but I feel like a lot of the time, like, these labels, these mental labels, it comes from your environment.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like ADHD that I feel like that come from my trauma. I was trying to escape. I was escaping through, like, being rude to people, being naughty, not, like, dealing with just sitting with myself and being present and being still. Always needed to be on the move because I'm trying to run away from something. And I feel like your kids should feel safe. And I was speaking to someone and I was like, she's never really naughty when she goes elsewhere, like her dad's families, for example.
Yeah.
But she's naughty for me. And they were
she's comfortable.
Yeah. And they said, you should be grateful that she's like that because she's safe and she feels comfortable.
Listen, my daughter, that little girl, she is an absolute angel. Like, when I say, so she's going into year 1. When she's back at school, she's going into year 1. So for reception, there we had parents' evening, and I said, what's her behaviour like? Because for a Zion, the teacher's spoken to me a few times about, like, he's just been very boisterous. Like, he's very big for his age. So, like, if he gets into a fight on the playground, he's going to knock out a 10-year-old when he's 6. Like, that's just the way it is. So with Zion, teacher spoke to me a few times. But at home, he's amazing. Like, he's the one that's helping me clean. Like, if I'm having a bad day, he's helping me. My daughter couldn't give any less of a shit. At school, absolute angel. So I asked the teachers, I was like, what is her behaviour like at school? And they were like, oh, she's golden, like, helps us tidy up, like, does this and that. I said, yeah, really? That's crazy. I had to show them a video of, I don't know if I sent it to you. There was one day after school, this girl was having an entire meltdown in the back of the car.
You sent me that.
Kicking, screaming. I can't even, it was over something absolutely stupid. I said, this is the same child. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's mad.
And I think as well, they just feel comfortable with mom.
I think as well what I'm learning as I'm like, and I wish I learnt this before, but I think I had my daughter so young that I was still growing and learning myself.
Yeah.
I used to like shout a lot, and my way of like telling her off and disciplining her was shouting. Yeah. And I think as I'm learning that shouting actually don't get you anywhere.
Listen,
shouting at the kids and
scream to Lambley in the face. My kids don't care.
No, but I don't think that helps. I don't think they're not going to listen to that because it's just not it. But I think when you actually, you're disciplining in other ways, like saying you're not having your iPad and really taking it off her, or okay, we're not going here tomorrow and sticking to it, stuff like that. Yeah, but that's what's shaping her into being respectful.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's standing on what you say with these kids.
Oh yeah.
When I say these kids stress me out, like you say, the iPad thing. If I don't take my daughter's iPad, I just know I'm preparing for World War III. Because that's what we're gonna. And a lot of parents
wouldn't stick that out though.
But that's what I'm at that point now where I'm like, I understand that she's so like strong-willed and independent that I have to break this now, because if she grows up thinking that these things are okay, this is just gonna be a whole nother world of chaos. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, right, she's 5 now, so things like taking the iPad away or sending her to bed when she's naughty and like really standing on it. Because before I would have been like, oh, like, I've got so much to do, like, I just can't deal with this right now. But now I'm like, no, I have to stand on this because this little girl's going to grow up and think that she can bad me up. And
do you feel like ever, like, sometimes your children are naughty because you're working from home and you are so busy? Do you feel like sometimes they're naughty because they want, like, attention and they want you to be present? Because I feel like my daughter's the same.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think that's where it gets hard with, like, being an entrepreneurial single mom, because it's like kids don't understand that you're going to put them to bed and still be working. And sometimes my son will be like, oh, can you just come lay down with me while I fall asleep? And I'm like, I've got to be on a call in 5 minutes, like, it's your bedtime, I've got to be on a call and you can't come in and bother me. So sometimes I feel like the mum guilt is real, especially through this summer, because I've just been so busy. I haven't been able to do everything that I've wanted to do with them. So the mum guilt is really flipping real. But I just sometimes have to look at the bigger picture of, like, if I was working a 9 to 5, there wouldn't be a choice. So some days I can just spend the entire day with them, but then they need to understand that some days mommy has to work. And if you want this mansion in the Lamborghini that you keep talking about, then you're going to have to let me work.
Yeah. I feel like I always try and make sure I do something intentional with my daughter every day.
Yeah, same.
And also, like, doing stuff together, like making sure we brush our teeth together. Yeah. Having dinner together, I think, is very important as a family. Like, even in a relationship and stuff, I think coming home and having dinner together is, like, one of the most important things. I don't know why, but I just feel like it really is. I feel like it's that time to sit down, be intentional, eat pleasurably together, and just, like, fill each other's cup in a way. So I feel like it's, like, little things that I think I'm trying to install for her to think, okay, this isn't unnormal, it's very normal.
I agree. I think it's just a learning process. Being a mom in general, and a single one at that, it's all a learning process. Like,
it's hard.
There's no handbook that tells you what to do. Like, there was not really that many kids in my family, so there weren't really many people that could advise me. I'm an only child, and I had arthritis growing up, so I couldn't run around and be chaotic. So my mum can't really advise me on it, and it's just like I'm literally learning as I go. And sometimes we make mistakes as parents, and we learn and grow, and This is life.
Well, we have got to wrap up now, so thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoy this type of just relatable content, then make sure you comment down below what type of topics you want us to cover. And don't forget to also follow us on our socials, because not just showcasing the long form content on YouTube, we're also doing the short forms that can maybe help you in your personal life as well. So check us out and don't forget to subscribe.